Something tells me this guy doesn't speak in rhyme. This is G2 Roadblock from 1995. A Decepticon Autoroller, this guy was released at the end of the line, and while I don't have the original package anymore, I do have the instructions and this neat pop-up tech spec card he came with. Only a few bots from G2 had this, I'm pretty sure, and it was something that really, pun not intended, stood out to me. The instructions are pretty standard for this time frame, though it's kind of odd that there were any included for reasons you will see later. That being said, I do miss this style of instruction sheet. Moving on to the actual figure, articulation is, well, the arms move pretty good. Everything else is pretty much stationary thanks to the figure's main gimmick. He also doesn't have any hands. Instead, he has a spinning saw blade on one arm and a spring-loaded missile launcher on the other. Fires off pretty well too, all these years later. Oh, and I can't forget the light piping. This was a fairly new concept at the time, so it's worth noting. And like I said, the arms have a surprisingly good range of movement for a figure that's otherwise a brick. Though I guess you don't need leg articulation if you're just gonna roll around on wheels. Now on to the main event. Fix his arms, flip the switch, and roll him back to transform. This gives you his neon green front end loader mode. And you know what? This thing looks pretty sick. Constructicons have taught us that bright green is a great color for construction vehicles. Now you need to make sure you flip the switch back in order to let it roll around, but otherwise this guy is a perfectly suitable construction vehicle, complete with a moving scoop. You can't access the missile launcher anymore, but at least you can store the missiles on the back of the vehicle. Though you can remove them if you want something a little bit more streamlined. Even if the figure is compromised for its gimmick, I can't help but like this thing. It's such a neat way to do transformation, and it creates a very unique look for the figure. Well, maybe not that unique. There were at least 4 of these designed, and I have the 2 that were released stateside. So, stay tuned for that. Till then, roll out.